I was very shy and I was very busy with my 6 children. And so the naturopath spoke. He said to me, at first when I was speaking to this group of people, they were a little resistant as to the natural remedies. But he said after a while they relaxed and they listened. He said, I told them about Peter. I also told them how Peter had severe physiological asthma and how Peter has not had asthma since the age of 2.5. I remember the naturopath said to me one day, everything you're doing to Peter, he'll be as strong as an ox. You should see Peter today. He looks like a bodybuilder. He'd be 35 today. He has 2 little children and they don't have asthma. Peter's strong. Peter thinks he's invincible. The naturopath rang me the next day after he spoke to the Asthma Foundation. The naturopath said to me, I finished speaking and a lady came up to me. And as she was talking to me, he said it's as if she was describing Peter. Her boy is the same age as Peter, I think maybe 6. He had severe physiological asthma. He was on a glycerin enema every day. He was on cortisone suppositories. And he'd been given 2 weeks to live. And the naturopath said to me, and look at Peter. I got off the phone and I thank God. I thank God for my experiences. You can see that at times it was tough. It was very tough. But I knew that God would never leave me nor forsake me. I knew that He led me in those paths so that I could learn. So that I could learn how that when we give the bodies the right conditions, the body can heal itself. I remember my father who conquered his asthma in the age of 50. I remember my sister Yvonne who finally, at the age of about 40, conquered her asthma. They both discovered that stopping wheat and dairy and refined sugar made a huge difference in their asthma. And then I consider Peter. I also remember the words from Ellen White, page 127 of the Ministry of Healing. Nature's process of healing and upbuilding is gradual, and to the impatient it seems slow. The use of natural remedies requires an amount of care and effort that many are not prepared to give. And I had to do all that effort to see that Peter was able to conquer his eczema. And I believe that Peter, in conquering his eczema, he has not given an asthma gene to his 2 little children. That is, it's an area called epigenetics, the effect of lifestyle and what we eat on our genes. Unbeknownst to me, God was teaching me. He was teaching me the natural remedies through experience. Every morning I would pray to God, Father, what would you have me do? What would you have me do? I want to work for you. And every morning God would impress me, your children. Train your children in the ways of God. And I was. And I think just living the life was training them. I remember being on the hill one day, the hill outside our house, and I was taking the clothes off the line. And I noticed the children all running to the house. I noticed one child was put on the veranda step, and all the other children were around them. And then I noticed another child ran into the house. No one seemed to be looking for me. The child came out with a little bowl. He had something in the bowl, and he put it on the child's leg. When everything seemed to have settled down, I went down. I said, what happened? And James said, beasting. The child had a beasting. They weren't looking for me. They knew exactly what to do.